today's video, we're going to talk about a few things that I wish I knew about 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because my life would be drastically different. But it's going to be different from here on out. There is so much value in understanding the habits that you can do daily that will improve your health and your quality of life. So in this video, we're going to talk about some of the lesser known ones that once implemented will make a huge impact into your life. Now, over the years, I've learned a lot of different alternative health practices, from coffee enemas to ozone therapy to stem cell injections into your privates, sunning your balls, binaural, hyperbaric chambers, but some of those just aren't that practical. So I want to dial it down to some of the most practical, accessible, yet life-changing ones. So the first thing we're going to talk about is feet. And no, it's not to satisfy your foot fetish. We're going to talk about a few reasons why you need to get those dogs out. Get your feet on the earth. The first part, grounding. I got my toes in a water. Grounding is the concept of connecting with the earth's electrical charge by walking barefoot on natural surfaces. Some claim, those hipsters, that it helps reduce inflammation, improve sleep, and promote overall well-being. So the idea is that Earth carries a natural electric charge. When we walk our bare feet on that, we take that up into us, and that helps our bodies get rid of free radicals. But more importantly, you're going to strengthen your foot and strengthen your body in turn. I think barefoot training is what I really want people to focus on here. If you want to be a really good athlete, start training barefoot today. Then the question is, what makes training barefoot better than training with shoes? Modern shoes. They have so much protection in the heel, so much foam layering, that sometimes you can develop bad mechanics when you're running, sprinting, jumping, just due to how your foot strikes the ground compared to how you would strike the ground if you were barefoot. Those modern shoes take away the undulations of the earth, bumps in the ground, and they sort of create a different balance point. But when your foot is barefoot, it has to feel those undulations and self-correct. Proprioception. This is a term that will make you more athletic and will make you live healthier longer, because proprioception is your body's ability to sense its position in space. So as an athlete, you have much more control of your body. You can do a spin move on a dime, you can jump when you want to, you can move in the air how you want to. Spin move. If you have good balance and proprioception when you're older, you're not going to fall as much, you're not going to get as many injuries, because you're well aware of where your body is in space. Training barefoot will encourage forefoot and midfoot strike as opposed to heel striking, which is how we're designed to run. So even if you're training in running shoes or whatever, take the time before and after a run just to do a few strides barefoot so that you develop the correct mechanics for running appropriately. Moving away from our foot fetish to our oral fetish, let's talk about the mouth. The next health hack you might have not heard about is called oil pulling. Essentially what you do is take a little scoop of coconut oil, put that into your mouth, and swish that around for 10 to 20 minutes. Why would you do such a thing? Sounds crazy. What it does is it actually removes toxins and bacteria and parasites, and it can actually whiten your teeth as well. You see, this oral area is one of our first lines of defense against illnesses throughout the body. So we need to keep our oral microbiome healthy in order to have a systemically healthy body. So yes, I'm telling you to care about your oral health. Try out oil pulling and reduce your risk for infection, for diseases. Also, you have better breath and better teeth. Yeah, you're so tall and strong and wise and caring, creative, and you will find that girl who's super caring and athletic and sporty, goofy and silly and wise and blonde hair. Well, brown hair works too. Brunette's fine. Got that fat ass. What are you doing? Shit.
I could not take another ounce. Fun for the crowd. I can hear my thoughts so loud. I can hear they doubt so loud.
So not just running, but sprinting. Why don't we talk about this? What the hell? Doesn't matter your age or if you're an athlete or not, sprinting will benefit you. I wish I would have known about this 10 years ago. Granted, I got sprinting within all the sports I used to play, and I still do. I would have ramped it up so much more due to these benefits. Listen to me closely when I warn you. Sprinting has risks. If you haven't all-out sprinted in a long time, please don't do that. You will rip your quad right off, or fall, or do something crazy. You need to properly warm up before sprinting. Be very careful. So what separates running from sprinting? Why does sprinting have so much more benefits. For a second, I want to ditch the medical jargon and physiological jargon and just dial it into bro science. Look at sprinters. They are always diced, shredded. They are lean, muscular, and athletic. It speaks for itself. The benefits could go on forever. I literally could make this an hour-long video. But firstly, why I think everybody should sprint more is its potent effect on metabolism. You're using explosive anaerobic energy, and due to this, you have a phenomenon called excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. So after sprinting, your body continues to require extra oxygen to recover and to return to its pre-exercise state. This phenomenon, known as EPOC, leads to additional calorie burning even after you finish sprinting. So basically, your metabolism continues working for a long period after you're done with these sprints. Sprinting has been proven to enhance insulin sensitivity. So if you sprint often, you'll be able to utilize glucose and carbohydrates way more efficiently. You're not going to become diabetic. Your body will actually have a reason to use carbohydrates. So sprinting is super potent on your hormones, and hormones rule your health. During sprinting, it activates epinephrine and norepi, and it'll balance out your hormones and make them work well for you. In men, it's been shown to raise testosterone, and yes, testosterone is important for women too. Not only does it preserve lean muscle tissue, but it also grows muscle tissue. So your body has different types of muscle tissue, and when you're doing things like walking, you're using slow twitch muscle fibers. But when you're doing something explosive, not like your diarrhea, like sprinting, you're using fast twitch muscle fibers. And sprinting can actually grow your muscles. So you become stronger, more ripped, and leaner due to all those metabolic adaptations we just talked about. Old people basically have no fast twitch muscle fibers left. They just have slow twitch. That's why they're slow as turtles. So if you want to be rocking it when you're in your 70s, gotta exercise fast twitch. And one of my favorite pieces of sprinting is that you can pair it with something we talked about earlier, and that's training barefoot. One of my favorite things to do is sprint up hills, like grass hills, barefoot. You also can sprint in sand, and that's very tough, but it's a great workout. And then you get the benefits of both.
I should probably quit smoking. It ain't good for my health. But neither are you.
Good morning, nerds. Here we are, outside at one of these lakes here. You need to get your eyeballs outside into the sun because that'll clear the melatonin that makes you sleepy and raise your cortisol. Listen, buddy. Come here. Come here. We need to have a discussion about light.
I said it before and I'll say it again.
Ensuring that you do this habit is literally going to change your life. If you're a fan of health content, you've definitely heard neuroscientist Andrew Huberman speak on the benefits of light in the morning.
Imagine going into a clock store with every clock is an alarm clock and they're on different schedules. That's what happens if you don't view morning sunlight. And you do view morning sunlight for about 5 minutes to 10 minutes on a clear day. That morning sunlight coordinates all the cellular and organ systems of your body. It boosts a number of chemicals that need to be released early in the day. Increased focus, energy, and alertness through the morning, increased immune system function throughout the day. And it sets a timer on some other clocks in the body, including the one that releases melatonin about 16 hours later to make you sleepy and fall asleep easily.
So many people in today's world don't ever get outside. They go from waking up in the morning to going to their job with a bunch of overstimulating LED lights above them, and then they come home and they turn all these LED lights on at home, and then they wonder why they can't sleep at night. And it doesn't matter how you do this. I prefer to go on morning walks, but you could just go sit on your balcony. When your eyes see the sunlight, makes all these messages in your head and tells your head to clear melatonin and raise your cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and it's not always associated with good things, but it is good when it's related to circadian rhythm. Seeing the sunlight is the signal to making you energized and alert. So if you are having trouble with energy, with mood, alertness, with focus, falling asleep at night, your culprit is circadian rhythm. Something is off with your sleep-wake cycle, your energy cycle. So all you have to do, as soon as you wake up, get sunlight, okay? A bonus on top of that is seeing the sun at night. Just as that morning sunlight will benefit your circadian rhythm, so does the nighttime. The sun at night is sort of a different color, you could say, and our eyes perceive that. And that's a signal that, hey, the sun is setting, it's getting pretty low. It's probably time for us to start winding down and getting ready for for bed. When our body is well prepped for bed, then we get those really deep sleeps and we wake up feeling energized. Optimizing this cycle should be one of your number one priorities in life. Where my rant about light gets more unusual is how we use lights during the day and night. I might have ADHD or something, but I am so sensitive to lighting. It's actually one of my biggest things at the hospital I hate is how much blue light LED lights are overhead. It just bothers the hell out of me for some reason. But one of the biggest favors you can do for yourself is trying to abide by the natural light of the day. So when the sun sets by 8:39, turn all your lights off, okay? No more overhead lights. And of course, we still need to see some things. One of my favorite things is Himalayan salt lamps because they have a nice warm glow. Anything with like a red or orange kind of glow to them is much better for you than those like white and bright LED lights, okay? Hipsters out there say that Himalayan salt lamps have all these, healing properties and cool stuff about them. But I just like them because they emit a nice soft light that help you see they're not overstimulating. You can also get like red light plugs for your bathroom or your kitchen. Of course, I should mention that you don't want to stare at screens all day. Since I'm a nurse, during my 12-hour shifts, I pretty much am staring at a screen all day. Most of our work is charting on computers. It's hard to avoid. As kids, we prioritize play and recess. In gym class, we play and compete until we finish high school.
Jay Fredericks, good three-sport athlete. He runs the offense.
We wake up one day and bam, no more play, time to get to work. This makes no sense. Make sure you go work out for half an hour. Well, I don't know, sometimes just walking into a gym sounds fucking boring. While competing, playing sports, that gives you energy. That makes you feel alive. What separates sports from the gym is that it gives you more dynamic movements, reflexes, agility, using different muscles that you'd probably never use just sitting on a machine. What I also love about competing with others is a lot easier to push yourself. Let's say you're playing a game of pickup basketball. You're not thinking about how far you're running, but if you're sitting on a treadmill, you're just staring at the distance and be like, am I almost done? Just going to a regular gym definitely is good for your mental health, but competing and playing with others is up here in comparison. Why? Because it makes you shift your worries away from what's going on at work, what's happening in your life, and you're focused on the game, on the sport in front of you. You're also releasing a ton of endorphins and dopamine. In the era of modern loneliness, we need sports and play and community more than ever. Especially as a guy, I feel like the best way to make new friends, create new connections is just through playing sports. It gives you a lot of social interaction and camaraderie, which is something that is not emphasized enough in modern day world. Humans need community. We need interaction. It just drives a deeper connection to other humans. It's also just amazing for personal growth. You'll see yourself advance and get better. It's one of the best ways to build your self-esteem and confidence. Through sports and competition, you're not only leveling up your physical health, it's your brain too. You're more creative and you're a better decision maker. So what I'm really begging you to do is to find ways to continue to compete and play and find new communities. There's so many different activities you can join in your area, whether it's basketball or soccer leagues, pickleball, tennis, mountain biking, just straight up cycling, running groups. Find ways to challenge yourself. Next, we're going to our knees. The last unconventional health tip that I want to talk about is called knees over toes. Knees over toes is more of a philosophy, and it's been made popular in the last couple years by someone named Ben Patrick, as most people know as Knees Over Toes guy. I wish I would have started doing these exercises like 10 years ago, because growing up playing a lot of sports, my knees were constantly hurting. Ankle mobility, my tibialises were weak, and I just would have been a lot better athlete and would have had a lot less injuries if I would have known about knees over toes. It's sort of hard to explain exactly what knees over toes is, but it's just basically the understanding of proper movement mechanics and alignment. And he gives a ton of exercises that you should incorporate that will help you jump higher, run faster, have less injury, have less pain. Some of my favorites are tibialis raises. I've been trying to do that a lot more. ATG split squats, IT band raises, I don't know what he calls them, backwards walking or backwards sled drags or even backwards running. And again, this goes for athletes and non-athletes. Doesn't matter your age. In fact, I think the older you are, the more you should focus on these exercises. Essentially, knees over toes is just functional movement patterns. So I definitely encourage you to look more into knees over toes training. It'll make you jump higher, run faster, and just feel better. I saw a post on Instagram the other day that I think sums up how we should approach health habits in general. And it says, don't major in the minors. Just prioritize sleep, stress mitigation, exposure to nature, morning sunlight, exercise, quality nutrition, hydration, and basic supplementation. So many people hear about the new health trend, the new health fad going around. I caution you into being an extremist in the health world. Don't major in the minors. Just get the big things. Life is hard and complicated. You don't need to make it harder than it is. Food is complicated. Hormones, health is complicated, but just dial it into the easy things. Just add in simple health habits that will get you to where you need to go. I'm on a big journey of growth, and you're here to grow with me, so please subscribe right now. And I love you guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.